Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in a brand new set of the Y'allTown podcast. This is going to be season number 3, episode 1. Today is March the 25th, Brandon. The reason I knew that is we got notes here.
We are professional now.
We are professional. Before we even get started, ladies and gentlemen, this podcast means a bunch to us. We put a bunch of money and time into it, and we want to say thank you for watching today. Also, we're going to start off with a $200 giveaway, which is arguably the biggest giveaway. It's definitely the biggest giveaway of season 3.
Yeah, for sure.
By far.
For sure.
So here's what we're going to do. We got a new podcast, and we're going to, again, just kick it off with a giveaway. So $200 gift card to our website. Anna, who y'all may have seen in the past, is going to pick the winners for, pick the winner.
Awesome. How do they win?
All they got to do is they're going to need to share this. Anna's going to pick a winner on tomorrow. We're going to do a lot on tomorrow. We're going to do a live video in the morning where we'll announce the winners, and Anna's going to choose during that live. We'll announce it. But basically, if you comment, share, and like this video, you'll be entered in to win a $200 gift card to y'allsweettea.com. And speaking of giveaways, you've been stockpiling over there.
God, I'm telling you, anytime I have a chance to buy, I'll just be on there looking sometimes, and I'm like, I'll go ahead and I'll get one more air fryer.
I'll get a little pizza oven.
I might get a little pizza oven. I'm just getting ready. Because
it might be the year of the Yeti cooler, too.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean the year? I got it already.
We already got it. We've already got it. So a lot of big stuff's coming in April with Y'all Sweet Tea, and a lot of new products, our birthday. There's so much about to happen, but we want to make sure we're doing giveaways this year, big time to give back to the audience. We're going to do a really fun April. I'm not going to talk about it too much right now, but basically we're going to do some more interactive stuff. Like I want to get people to post their Y'all Sweet Tea setup. There are people who got, a million Y'all Sweet Tea things. Maybe they got a cute dog and they want to give their dog a little sip of tea or something. You're gonna submit photos. All that stuff's gonna come on later on in April, so that'll be something to look forward to. Also, I think it would be nice to do an introduction of ourselves. A lot of people may not know who we are. You may not know what this podcast is. So my name is Darian Craig. I started Y'all Sweet Tea way back in the day, and this is Brandon Eccles.
I'm Brandon Eccles. We've been friends since we were little bitty kids.
Tiny.
Yeah.
And we're the owners of Y'all Sweet Tea. A lot of people have heard of Y'all Sweet Tea by now. If you're watching us here, thank you. Hit the follow button if you're not already following us. But basically, we do a podcast, or we try to do a podcast every week. And we did that for several weeks, and then we moved into this new building. Actually, we stopped the podcast because we were moving into the building. We thought it was going to be about 1-2 month downtime. Turned into about 5.
It's been
about 5-6 months. So we're back. But let's talk about the new building.
Yeah, so look, I'll take it back real quick.
Take it back.
For just people who don't know. So we started in a building that's about 5 minutes from here, a lot smaller. And then that's where we started in 2021. In 2023, we got another building that is where we're at now to have more space. That's where all the orders are being packed, where everything's being stored at. And then we just had a new building built right next to that building.
Yeah.
So we had 6,000 square feet. Now we have another 10,000 square foot building right beside that building. So when we say we moved, we got out of the other building, and now everything is here in one location.
Yeah, on one property. We got 2 buildings on one property. And look, we're going to do a warehouse tour video very soon. And I'm ultra pumped about that. Because we got some stuff to show these people that they're not ready for.
We've been working. I'm talking about working over here. The worst part about getting a new building is you have to put so much stuff together.
Yeah, little stuff. Y'all ever hung a picture?
You ever put this table together?
You know how hard it is to hang these little walls over here?
Golly, we've been putting some stuff together.
Putting some stuff together.
And we're not very good at it.
We're
not very good at putting stuff together.
The deal is, I don't know why they send us instructions. Knowing good and well. First off, they give us an English version, a Spanish version, and then like an intro packet for what. I don't care about none of that. I'm not reading. No. Just label your screws so we know which screws go in what, and that's all I need. Let me look at this table. I know how that's supposed to go. Then we turn around, we got the stuff on backwards.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon measure once and drill about 9 times.
We got dry erase boards on the wall right now with so many holes behind it.
If somebody ever, that'll be another story for another day. Look, I don't even want to spoil the surprise. Recently, I did a post on Y'all Sweet Tea's Facebook or maybe it was like an Instagram story or something. but it was guess what this. Oh, it was on a live. I was walking around on a live in this building, and I showed a glimpse of a yellow floor.
Yeah.
And I asked people to guess what they thought the yellow floor was. So a few people guessed it correctly because they probably maybe follow me or I don't know, have a crazy guess. But there were some wild guesses on there. Did you ever look through those?
No, I didn't look.
They
What were some of the, what did they guess?
They thought it was a new, like a squishy floor for tea packing. They thought it was an order packing floor. They thought it was a pickleball court. They thought it was just all this random stuff. So we're going to show that in the
warehouse
warehouse tour video.
Nice.
That one's going to be exciting. Let's talk about. Look, you were over here because when we had the other two buildings, I worked at the other one, you worked at this one. So you were here pretty much, or obviously every day during the build out, and you got to see the progression, which would speed up at times, and we thought we were getting somewhere, and then it would come right back below where it just went to.
Yep. So anybody that's gone through a construction project, probably building a house, building a shed, or building a 10,000 square foot building,
or asking your husband to put together a kitchen table.
Yeah.
Any of the above.
They all go the same way. You know, it takes longer than expected. You run into issues, and that's pretty much what happened here. I mean, it took about longer than expected. They did a good job as far as they almost stayed on timeline, but there's just so many issues. Things.
I think the other thing too is when it starts looking like it's almost done, then we just expect it to be done.
Yeah.
But in reality, we're still weeks, maybe even a month out.
Because when they poured the concrete and all you have is a concrete slab, we're just like, you got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But when they have all the drywall up and things have been painted and you see your offices, like you're ready to start moving furniture in, they're like, well, now we got 3 more weeks. We got to get the finishing touches. We got these lights up, light switches got to go on. And so it took a long time, but it's so nice now. We're in here. Our offices look nice. I can't wait for people to see our offices.
Yeah, ultra nice offices.
Yeah.
What do you think? Let's see. Oh man, Anna's got. So Anna is. Y'all gonna meet Anna again if you don't remember Anna. Also, Liz is back from having a baby, Sailor, little girl, and we're gonna talk about next podcast. Gonna have girls involved. I heard. The rumor is it's going to be a boys versus girls of some sort.
4-person podcast?
4-man podcast. And we'll get to talk to Anna and Liz a little bit more and introduce them to y'all. But Anna's got some questions on here for us. Now we're going to have itineraries for our podcast so we stay focused. She asked, what is the first fun thing that you bought for the new warehouse?
It has to do with that yellow floor that you showed a picture of. So if we're not talking about that yet, it'll just be a mystery for the next one.
But it's the yellow floor is definitely
it's the yellow floor was the
first fun thing. And we ordered it. She said the first fun thing that you bought for the new warehouse. We bought that so far before the warehouse was done. We were so ready. We almost just put the yellow floor in before we could even do anything. As soon as we had a roof, basically. So, look, I'm going to also agree that that's probably the first fun thing that we bought. That's going to be my answer too. So you'll have to see whenever we do the warehouse tour video. That's going to be good.
So number 2, I'll ask you, what was the must-have in the new building? So look, that can be super small, all the way up to big. What was a must-have?
A must-have for me, honestly, I think the main must-have it was this media room that we're in. The media room, so for the people that watched in the past, we do all kinds of cooking videos. We have influencers come up, we shoot a podcast, and we do little random challenge videos. If people who are the OGs, if you are an OG and you remember this, Liz painted this like really colorful wall one time. We thought it was so cool, and at the time it was really cool, to do challenge, like random stuff on. But that room was just so tiny. We were forcing our way into this little room and making it work. However, when we built this building, one of my main must-haves was build out a very expansive media room that we can do whatever we want to in. And it's amazing. We've got the kitchen set. We've got this podcast set. Liz, can they see the curtains by any chance? Can we don't got to do it now because I don't know if you want to mess the camera up. Maybe zoom out if you can, just for a split second to see this the curtain setup. Can I see it now? So this is something small, but like just to kind of close this room off where we feel like we're in our own little room, but it's inside this gigantic room. To me, that was probably the most important must-have because when we started this business, it was, we have a really good tea blend, and you could argue that other companies also have a good tea blend. So like what separates us? Our tea is, I feel like, is a lot better, but I think our social media and our media and our marketing and all of those things definitely separate us from a lot of the competitors. It's like, let's invest in what separates us, what we're best at. And yeah, I'm proud of this one.
Yeah, it's really cool to see where we started because you're so creative and you always have these ideas of how we could shoot these videos and how to shoot these pictures. Well, we've never had anywhere to do that. So it all started in your kitchen. So it's like, how creative can we get in your kitchen? Then we built out a kitchen at our old shop and then painted a wall and built a little podcast set. And so it's like we made the best of what we have and what we had. And so now to have an entire room just dedicated to creating content is crazy. I'll add on to must-haves. My biggest must-have was
that yellow floor.
So many more pallet racks to store our products. So in the building beside this building, we were maxed out. Like every single spot was taken. Now in this new building, we have hundreds of more spaces to put pallets of tea. So we're going to be able to stock up, have so much more product here in our warehouse, and that was the biggest deal to me.
Be able to keep growing.
Yeah.
We're growing fast, and certainly, what do we count, like, what was the number that we counted this building in hold of pallets? It was
almost 400,
400 or 500 or something. Yeah. And that was like that was rough numbers of like what without even like actually calculating stuff with like 400 pallets. And it probably could be more than that, but like to explain the quantity of 400 pallets for us, like I bet the most we've ever even had is 100.
Yeah, or maybe close to 200, but that's like with the whole building maxed out and another 75 pallets sitting on the floor getting ready for Black Friday.
Yeah.
And so, this is more than probably tripling the amount of
because we can still hold that. What can the other building hold? 150 probably?
150 pallets. So if you add another 400 here, like we're going from 150 to over 500 pallets that we'll be able to have in stock. Yeah.
So massive deal for us to be able to grow and like keep expanding inventory. And I wish Liz was close enough to hit a button and make this like real screeching, dramatic sound right now. But one of the things we're going to keep inventory in is decaffeinated tea, Brandon.
It's been tough.
It's been tough. It's been brutal.
It's been really tough.
And if you've commented that, by the way, comment below if you have, where's my decaf? So just comment that. When are y'all getting decaf in stock? Comment that.
Look, you want to give me like a 1 minute explanation?
I'd love for you to do that.
Okay, so as of right now, we have a team that's packing our tea. They're currently packing 12,000 bags a week, right? So out of that 12,000 bags a week, we have to make sure that we have peach, gallon calf is like number one priorities. You got to keep those in stock. After those two, though, you have half and half lemon, raspberry, mango, strawberry, watermelon, half gallon caffeinated, half gallon decaf, gallon decaf. I don't
hot
know
chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Like I don't know how many more there are. So they have to pack all of those, right? Well, they can only pack one in a day. So in a day,
like one flavor.
One flavor. So say today they're packing strawberry. Well, they have to pack strawberry, say for 3 days to make sure we have enough in stock. So now you're 3 days in, they did strawberry. Well, now you got to keep switching of all the 11 that I just said. But then by the time you get to the 8th one, you ran out of peach. So you got to go back to peach. And then you got to go back to gallon calf. Well, so what happens is the decaf just has to wait for a minute because if we just started packing decaf today, you run out of peach.
Mango.
You run out of straw.
Something's going to, it's like give and take all the time.
So we're working through that. Now getting our bags packed per day up to 12,000, we're about to start stocking up. So now it should be back soon and it's not going to sell out. But
we think we got a good plan for how, and also in the middle of all that, there's a couple things that happened. So Shark Tank, we got put on so this all actually backed all the way up until Shark Tank. Leading up to Shark Tank, we were getting low on gallon decaf. And then we get told 2 weeks out, hey, y'all are going on Shark Tank in 2 weeks. So we put all our focus in peach and gallon calf to get ready for Shark Tank. Well, we went into Shark Tank with no gallon decaf, right?
Yeah, none.
So then, okay, you have all these orders that came in. Black Friday's 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Have no decaf for Black Friday.
Which wiped us out of everything. So then it's like you have to restock everything. But also, gallon decaf is probably like, if we have 11 teas, gallon decaf's probably like ranked number 6 or 7 on like the sale volume. So we have to base it off of sale volume. Everything we're doing has to be focused on that. So something's got to fall between the cracks. And so I would say that just pushed us into a wave of like things that were tough. Then also we moved out of the other building. We let our tea, like we no longer pack the tea at our building. So
A lot of maybe unfortunate things are just, it wasn't unfortunate.
Yeah,
it was just
growing
growth.
pains. Yeah.
Growth pains. But now we're definitely working through this. Brandon, question number 3 we've got here is, who would be your dream podcast guest? And I'm going to expand this to any human, any living human.
Any human?
Yeah, any living human. Who would you love to be able to get to question in our podcast?
Any human?
Yeah. Wow. I know mine.
Do you?
Yeah.
You'd say yours first.
Elon Musk.
Really?
I would give all the
Man,
money.
that's controversial right now.
I don't care.
But I did. He's the smartest person
Ever to live.
that's ever lived.
I just can't wait. I mean, obviously we're going to be gone, but like in 100 years, I wish if I could be in heaven looking down onto earth, I just want to see I don't want to get a history book in 100 years.
Yeah. I mean, the things he's doing, take everything else out of it. He's a genius, and he's like doing things that you can't even, like the problems that we run into every day.
Yeah.
We think are a big deal.
Yeah.
Like we're like, man, we're trying to figure it out. That man's trying to put us
He's
on Mars.
he's trying to put 1 million people on Mars in the next 20 years.
Like that's just wild to think. I would say Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is like, I don't know how many people listen to Joe Rogan. He interviews all kinds of people, but he's like
About 100 million.
Yeah, he's like one of
Probably not a lot of our guests.
but he's one of the best interviewers I've ever heard. Just talking, because he can have such a good conversation with anyone. He can talk to a brain surgeon, and he can talk to a farmer, and he can have the same great conversation. So I think it'd be cool to talk to him.
Man, I wonder when the last time Rogan did someone else's podcast.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get him on. I'll shoot him an email.
Imagine. Brandon, question number 4. That's your question to ask for me.
What was the hardest thing to set up in the new warehouse?
My grass wall.
Golly. That took 2 days of our time.
Yeah, that was tough.
Just tell them about it for 2 seconds.
The grass wall, we'll see it. Y'all will see it. You've already seen it. But when you originally put that thing up from Amazon and it's in a box, I bet it's a lot easier. But we tried to do it the easy way. And when we took it off my wall at the other building, we took off the whole entire wall, rolled it up in like a rug. And ideally, we're just going to unroll it, properly put it back up, and a couple screws up top, and we're good.
It was so bad.
It was way different than that.
Mine is going to be, look, this is going to sound so small to everybody. So small.
Yeah.
It's a glass whiteboard, right?
Oh, boy.
We had a 8-foot long glass whiteboard. So you're thinking, oh, it's a whiteboard. What do? You put a little bracket up, you put it on there.
Hang it and
Dude,
start writing.
hours.
Yeah.
And you want to know the problem? We read the directions.
Oh, I know. Exactly.
We read the directions, and the directions said drill all these holes around the board, and then the board should perfectly go on there. Dude, we drilled all the holes around the board, put the board up. All the holes are wrong. And I don't think it was our fault.
It wasn't. It was not our fault.
It took so long.
Someone sent us the wrong instructions.
I think so. We might have been reading them in Chinese.
I know we measured right.
We measured right.
For
We
sure.
drilled right.
And
it
somehow it didn't line up.
It didn't line up.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. If you could change one thing about the new setup, what would it be? Are we already changing stuff?
Nothing.
Nothing. If I could change one thing about the new setup, I'm blanking right now because there's 0 things I could change. Oh, a bidet on my toilet. Is that called a bidet? What do you call it?
Well, I think you just called
bidet.
it. I think you just said booty in a different way. You said a bidet.
Bidet?
A bidet.
A bidet. I wish I had a butthole cleanser.
Okay, here's a poll. How many people are using bidets at home?
That's a legitimate poll.
How many people?
Look, we're going to give away a starter kit for the answer of this question.
Look.
And not just if you say yes. Any person who but you have to say, yes, I own a bidet or bootay. Yes, I own a bidet. No, I don't, and I never would. I just need to hear your side.
I don't own one.
I don't either.
But
I've never used one.
But I have seen comments that says it's the best thing they've ever got.
That's what I heard too. Have you ever used one?
No, I've never used one. I was in Europe one time, and they have they'll have a whole separate thing beside it.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite figure it out though, and I wasn't going to get into enough research to figure it out.
I don't want to hit the wrong button.
It's a vulnerable spot to be trying to figure that out at that time, and I didn't do the research.
I would read the instructions on the bidet.
Yeah.
Also, people that say they use the bidet, this is going to get into a real topic that
little real crappy.
This is going to get a real crappy topic. Look, I'm anti toilet paper.
Yeah, Darian only goes wet wipes.
Only dude wipes.
Yeah.
So dude wipe is like a thinner but very durable, very very tightly woven fabric that is a baby wipe. It's way thinner, so you get a good you get a good grip. You get a good. It holds on the hand very well.
That's good.
Baby wipe's just too fluffy. You get it down there and you feel like you're wiping with a pillow. You know what I mean? The thickness is just too thick. Also, if you get them Dollar General baby wipes, buddy, I would be so annoyed if you got me Dollar General baby wipes. So I'm anti toilet paper. Last time I ever used toilet paper, yeah, I don't even know.
Darian keeps a travel-sized dude wipe in his pocket at all times.
All times. Anywhere that you've ever seen me walk to, in Miss Brenda Gantt's house, on Shark Tank,
you had that dude wipe in your pocket.
in my pocket. You never know when that little belly starts rumbling. You better have a dude wipe in your pocket.
Yep.
Y'all walk around with Baboon butt. The thing's glowing red because it's so chapped because y'all been using Cottonelle.
I just can't wait to see the comments of this podcast. Everybody's just going to be talking about bidets.
I'm being serious. Don't even buy toilet paper around me. Honestly, in the warehouse tour video, we have to show them how many dude wipes we got here.
It's so much.
I spent like $140 on cases of dude wipes. I emailed them asking if we could buy a pallet off of them.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, hold on, one more thing. I won't poop. I'll wait till I get to somewhere that's got a dude wipe. I'll even go out of the way to Walmart, grab them, and come back, and then go home. And I've been squeezing for a while.
You know, that's always a lot of people don't talk about using the bathroom. One thing that Darian's open about, he'll talk to a stranger about using the bathroom. He'll talk to him. I mean, he'll get a stranger on dude wipes.
I've got a lot of people on dude wipes.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. If you could, what's your favorite thing in the new warehouse that you picked out?
Did we already add?
No, we said
that's
what
similar
could you
to the
change?
must-have.
But what's your favorite thing? I have something and it's small. But
If you could, what is your favorite thing in the new warehouse that you picked out?
I could answer this question for you.
Yeah.
It's the nugget ice machine that's on there.
Oh boy.
Darian found a nugget, like Chick-fil-A ice machine on the counter right now.
We had a whole team meeting yesterday, and we brought everyone in. Hey, group text. Everyone needs to meet in the media room.
Everybody's nervous.
Everyone's so nervous. They're like, "What do we do?" I'm like, "All right, guys, we got a couple things to talk about. Most importantly, we need to assign days to who's going to refill the water in the ice machine because I'm sick of coming in here. I'll take Monday, but I'm tired of coming in here and there's no water in my ice machine.
That ice machine's so
kills.
Nice. And then we have a water fountain that has a bottle filler on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, you put ice in your bottle and go fill it in the water fountain?
That's the most bougie thing you could imagine.
I'm talking about, though, I get 10% more work done every day because of that. 10%.
Brandon's skin is his skin's getting cleaned
I'm so
up.
hydrated.
Yeah, I would say that. What's your favorite thing you picked out?
I just like the ice machine.
Okay, I think we can both agree on the ice machine. Final question. Do you plan to outgrow this place? I don't like it.
Plan?
Hold on. Anna says this place. That's a little degrading to me.
It's your home, Anna.
That should have been like, this place. I read it like, do you plan to outgrow this place? Yes, the plan is definitely outgrow this place. Yeah. I hope that it lasts us a long time, and I hope that there's some property across the street. If we wanted to put up another warehouse, I would love to stay right here where we're at. I love this spot. I think there's probably more ideal spots we could be in, but we signed a long lease.
We're going to be here a minute.
We're going to be here a minute.
But the good thing is we already put plans in when we were getting this place built to expand. So above us right now, there's a big walkway kind of out in the warehouse, and it's already built and ready to wall in and put more offices and more space upstairs.
Yeah.
The only thing that we would have to expand one day possibly is more warehouse space, but if we get to a point of where we have that much in our warehouse,
it's coming, buddy.
Man, we are going to be moving.
Brandon, the final segment, actually, I guess not final, segment is called Shark Tank Follow-Up. How has your partnerships with the Sharks evolved as y'all plan more things?
I'll say, if I answer it first, one thing that we tell a lot of people is they're a lot more involved than you would think.
Yeah, that's probably the main question we get.
Because everybody you talk to, they're like, oh, they have to be so busy. Like, there's no way you actually talk to them after the show. Incorrect. Like, we email with them all the time. I mean, Lori texts us personally there was one night, it was like 8 o'clock the other night. She sends us a group text talking about something. We had 2 phone calls with her the other day. Like, they're very involved and they're very willing to help, and they're helping us grow the company. So that's the main thing I would say is they're very involved and we're working with them pretty closely.
I just Googled how many companies does Lori own, and this just says she's invested. It just says she's invested in over 100.
That's crazy.
So like, just picture it's 100 right now. Yeah. Like there's 100 of us, 100 of this similar thing going on, and so for me it was like, and then Rashawn, like he's also probably equally as busy as Lori is. It's way more than I thought it would be. For me, we obviously talking to Lori's cool because she's more famous, I guess. She's probably more famous, like more publicly known from Shark Tank. But also Rashawn's like
so cool.
It's the coolest. It's just different than us. He's like a big financial advisor and
so smart
finance background. But the cool thing about Rashawn is he shares a bunch of personal stuff on his Facebook, and on his Instagram, and it's a bunch of, he has young kids. So me and Rashawn like message all the time, just like little stuff. He'll like a story, or I'll like, that's awesome, dude. Or and he does the same thing back with Canon. I think that's pretty cool. And the weird thing is like, they're just people. Yeah. They're just like us, obviously a lot more rich, but, and older. Like, but it's just like, they're regular people too. It's like, you post something cool, it's like, that's awesome, dude. I think that's really neat.
I know, because like when we've had our phone conversation with Lori, at first you're kind of nervous. You're like, oh, Lori's calling. Yeah. But then you get on the phone, you just talk like, just as y'all just having a conversation.
Yeah. What is your biggest priorities moving forward? The whole entire mission and push to get our products into big box retail, which first starts with packaging. So I've been working on, I forget the number. I think last night I got some more sample photos in. So we're changing our package style. Man, this could get long-winded. We're changing our packaging style. A lot of y'all have heard this, from the stand-up bag that we've got now to a box so that it can fit on the shelves better and blah, blah, blah. We'll share that later in another story. I started working on this about, 5-6 weeks ago. And just to change the art, I'm on number 61 right now. So I've had 61 edits to the package style. I got number 61 in yesterday. So it just takes so long, and it's little minor, tiny little stuff, but like you just want it to be perfect. And then once we get that box complete, then we can take it and go present it to the retailers. And spoiler alert, we have a meeting with Publix this coming up soon.
I know, it's crazy.
So that box has got to get done because that's what we're going to be showing them. That's what we want to get in. So
and to this day, that's the number one comment that we see is, where can I find your tea in stores? So we're working on that big time. Like you said, we have a meeting with Publix. That's over 1,400 stores across the United States. We've had meetings with 2 other retailers, which probably totals up another 700 or 800 more
Name
stores.
dropping.
One is Winn-Dixie, if you shop at Winn-Dixie.
A lot of people do.
One is Ingles.
A lot of people have been commenting Ingles. I've been seeing that so much.
I know. So that's
and
three big retailers.
we think we landed Ingles.
Believe so. Yep.
Winn-Dixie seemed to be like
a little bit more difficult.
A touch more. They just wanted to get samples first.
Yeah.
But then they said, by the way, Liz, clip this. Anna, don't forget this. Major shout out to y'all because of one specific thing. Winn-Dixie called us and Ingles called us or emailed us the same. It was like 2 days apart.
Yeah, literally.
And we actually set the meetings up to be back to back. So we talked to Winn-Dixie first, and then like 30 minutes later we talked to Ingles. Both of them said we've been getting so much questions from their customers who are shopping in those stores. So many have been asking those store managers, to the point that the store managers took it up to their boss and said, hey, whoever Y'all Sweet Tea is, we got to get their tea in here because so many people are asking about it. That's also how we got into Piggly Wiggly. That's how we got into Foodland. That's how we got into Food City, is literally our awesome customers and fans asking at their local store, can you get Y'all Sweet Tea? Yep. And then ask to speak to a manager. The manager is just sitting over there in a desk. It's not like, it's not a big deal to ask for the manager. And just like, hey, I follow these guys on Facebook. They had a cool company. They got really good tea. They were on Shark Tank. We would love, I'd buy them every week if y'all had it in your store. That literally means so much to us because we just landed 600 to 800 more stores because of that reason. So
we will continue to ask everybody, whatever store you shop at, when you go in, ask for the manager, say, have you heard of Y'all Sweet Tea? Show them our website and say, can you please reach out to them and ask if you can get them into our store, because that's how they're reaching out to us.
Yeah. And honestly, Publix people, if there's a lot of Publix people, Publix will be a giant one for us. So if y'all are Publix shoppers, attention all Publix shoppers, go talk to the store manager, please.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, don't tell them we got a meeting coming up. Just scrap that part. Just say we need y'all sweet tea in the store.
Yep. You ready?
What's the most interesting interaction that you've had since being on the show? What's the most interesting interaction you've had since being on the show?
We've had a lot.
Yeah.
Because so many people saw the show, so we're kind of recognized a little bit more when you're out doing things. But there's one that comes to mind.
What's yours?
It's the one we were talking about it earlier, but we went. Oh, we didn't bring our award in here. We'll get the award. Okay, so we got nominated for Alabama's top. What was it? What was the actual name of it?
Business Alabama. It was the Small Business of the Year.
Small Business of the Year. So
yeah. I don't remember the organization.
We got nominated for Small Business of the Year in Alabama. And so we go to this award ceremony, which, by the way, we won. We'll show the award in just a second. But after leaving that, we got into an elevator. And we were in the elevator. It was me, you, and Anna with just a stranger. She wasn't at the award ceremony. It was just a stranger going home. She just ate lunch. And she saw... Actually,
I don't even know what she saw.
I don't know what we weren't wearing our name badges, so we think she just recognized who we were. And she said, I love y'all sweet tea. I drink it all the time. And me and you looked at each other a little bit confused because like I looked down for my name badge. I didn't have one on. I was like...
I thought she was at the awards show with us.
That's what I thought too. And we were like, oh, thank you so much. And she was like, no, I drink it all the time. And we were like, and you asked her, you said, oh, were you at the award ceremony? She was like, well, no, I was eating lunch. I'm just going back to my car. And just completely random in an elevator, she said that she saw us on TV. She drinks our tea all the time. And it was just a customer.
She loves Brenda Gantt.
Yeah.
Loves Mama Sue. Let's zoom into this beautiful award right here. This is the first ever award we won. Small Company of the Year presented to Y'all Sweet Tea. And hey, got up on stage, gave a cool speech, made some people laugh.
We were in the room with some big dogs, too.
Big boys.
Yeah.
And hey, we came out victorious. So surely you can just picture what this looks like. It's not even probably that cool to y'all. Is this better, Liz? Can you make it out any? Hey, it tears me up, man. I get emotional every time I see that thing. So we won that award. It was pretty sweet.
First award we've ever.
The most interesting interaction I've had, I would say certainly is probably just the standard extreme amount of people that said, were you on Shark Tank? Like it's a weird, gigantic number of people.
Yeah.
Probably no specific moment other than just like, obviously there's really cool ones, but anytime you get noticed in public for doing something cool on social media or business is awesome. Shark Tank just put that onto another magnification. So,
how many times you get stopped when you go to the grocery store?
It's wild. There was a time recently that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I truly got stopped like maybe 10 different times at Piggly Wiggly, which is our local stores. Like I know a lot of people there anyhow, but it was just wild. And by the way, if y'all ever see me or Brandon in public, we don't mind that at all. I actually love it. And we'd love to take a picture. People had us sign bags before or whatever. Like I think that stuff's awesome because like one day, like this thing's growing. There's a lot of people who want to support us, and to meet us in person is special to a lot of people. And we love that kind of stuff.
Very cool. All right, what's a moment you are looking forward to in the near future with the Sharks?
I would say there's several, but Lori the other day mentioned when we get to the Publix meeting, if we need her for backup to just jump on a call and help close the deal, she could do that. I think probably the thing that I'm looking most forward to is getting to be in the presence of them when they do their craft. Like when Lori gets to pick up the phone and say, here's why, she can name drop herself and all of the accolades that she's got to help us grow. I would say that's probably the thing I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to say another one because I know that's going to be your answer. I know the other thing I was going to say is going to be your answer.
Okay. Tell me if it is or not. So I'm excited about two things. One is Rashawn's already told us he's coming to the warehouse. Okay. He's coming to the warehouse to tour it. So he's bringing some people from his team.
We're getting Rashawn on the podcast.
And Rashawn will be on this podcast.
He's already said he wants to. He can't wait to do it. Yeah.
So he's coming to the warehouse in the next few months to tour the warehouse, which is going to be awesome. And the second thing I would say is, man, I'm just looking forward when this new packaging's done, when we really get rolling into these big box stores. I'm just excited to see who Lori's got in her contacts. You just never know. Lori's just such a big name. She might just have, just Mr. Walton.
Hey, Kroger, can you just pop us into Kroger?
Yeah. So I'm excited about
Tell
that.
a funny story real quick. The other day we were on a phone call with Lori and her assistant, and she said, hey, I guess it doesn't matter. Hey, Courtney, can you call blank and tell him to call blank and get them in Kroger?
Like it's just like she just probably knows the owner of Kroger. It's wild.
Me and Brandon just laughed on that.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, I guess this is your turn to ask some questions.
Okay. How has the sales and brand awareness changed since Shark Tank?
The sales changed immediately that week because we had a massive influx of people. So story I always say is our record for when we do launches, the most people that ever been on our website at one time was 4,000 people, a little over 4,000, which is a monstrous number.
Yeah.
When we aired on Shark Tank on the last commercial break, there was 20,000 people. So 5 times our record was on the website at once. I would say that translated into sales, but it also just like the sales. You hear these stories of companies that do $2 million the first night,
Yeah.
and like that, we weren't even close to that. But now we had these 20,000 people who have now heard of Y'all Sweet Tea, and then we're starting to see our daily orders pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the people that, even if they didn't buy the first night, they're coming back or whatever. So I would say probably that just like major push of people to the website. And then to touch on the brand awareness part of it is we have that badge now that we were as seen on Shark Tank. We're putting that on the packaging now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very legal process to be able to have that thing. So that's probably definitely the biggest brand awareness piece that we could use. And we're certainly going to lean into it a lot more in the coming months with as seen on Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm. How have we scaled the operations to meet the demand since we've been growing so much?
I think you should answer that.
Well, yeah. Number one, we built a 10,000 square foot building. And so that's the main thing. This space is just, it's giving us so much more warehouse space to store product.
Yeah.
In our other building that's beside this one, when I say we were maxed out, and we have like we said earlier, we have 11 different teas. So say you want 5,000 bags of each tea in stock, but our gallon calf and peach, we need 10,000 plus. So there's 1,000 on a pallet. So now you go down 11 different pallets. You can just, that's like over 100 pallets right there.
Yeah.
And
then you, by the way, you launch hot chocolate.
Then you have
20,000 of those sitting on the floor.
Yeah, 20 more pallets of hot chocolate. Well, we also have plastic pitchers. We have 15 of those. We have glass jars. We have 20 pallets of those. We have coffee. We got 20 more pallets of coffee. Like that place was so packed out that you couldn't do anything. And so
we literally, for context, we had to pull pallets out into like the concrete outside and literally pull a bunch of them out there just to free up enough room to go back to the back of the warehouse, grab a new pallet and bring it over there where they're packing orders at because you couldn't move stuff through there.
Yeah. The first day we got pallet racks up here, I moved 20 pallets out of the other shop over here, and it was only boxes that we don't use.
Yeah.
It was only boxes we don't use. Like, we don't even have any tea in this warehouse yet.
Yeah.
And so besides that, just continuing to have good staff members, they're continuing to like become more efficient and just better at packing orders, packing grocery store orders, and which is just allowing us, like if you're making an order on our website, we're trying to make sure those orders are shipped out within 24 to 48 hours, depending on what day you order.
Yeah.
And they're just getting so much better at that.
Yeah, we're getting a ton better. And I think, my opinion, like I think the employees also have a little bit more pep in their step to like, they know that we got put on this pedestal and they don't want to let us down, and they also want to see the company grow. So like they're putting in time effort. I'm just seeing everyone's putting in a little bit more effort than they used to. Mm-hmm. So that's also, it's cool that we've got a team that also stepped up to match the demand.
Yep. And last question we have, how has the team dynamic changed in making different decisions?
So I think this question's probably relating to like, now there's sharks involved and they're actually our real business owners. Can we just make decisions? Can we just buy this this table was $3,000. Can we just go buy a $3,000 table without asking them? Because normally if you were going to buy something for $3,000 for your office, say a new computer or something, we'd talk about it. We talk about it to each other like, hey, I need this computer. What do you think? Yeah, it's good. But normally we just bounce it off each other. It's not so they don't care. And I don't really want to get into like the super details of it, but we do have a contract with them now. So like there's a limit of a dollar amount that we can't spend without getting their permission. And there's some things like that. They just want to know the big stuff. I don't think they really care about the smaller stuff. When What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say it's cool because pretty much how it works is like they're continuing to let us run the business as if we were running the business, and pretty much just saying, be smart and don't, if you're going to go and spend a ridiculous amount of money, then like obviously we all need to talk about it to just make sure it's a smart decision. But besides that, continue running the company like you've been running it.
And part of that too was a due diligence process before we got to sign the deal. So for context, we filmed in September. Like we went to LA in September. The next week that we get back home, it's still September. We started due diligence. So from September, the end of September, October, November, December, we closed in the end of it. So it took basically 4 full months of them digging through every financial record that we've got, every social media post that we've got. The list goes on and on, all the salaries, all of these different things, for them to even see what are our spending patterns, what do we blow money on, where are we really saving money, like all those kind of things. So I think they also they did their part to make sure they weren't investing in two knuckleheads.
Exactly.
And like you hear all these stories of companies that go on Shark Tank and don't ever air because they don't get their due diligence. And the reason of that is probably because they look at some of these companies and like, this company's doing dumb stuff.
Because you can make yourself sound great in an hour talking to somebody, but when you actually dig down into the details, it's like, well, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like somebody might have $1 million loan out over here or something like that. And so they just have to make sure they're making a smart decision. So, but with that, we run things just like we do every day. It's just normal business, growing the business.
Yeah. So I think that's a pretty good catch up for a lot of people. And there's obviously a ton more we can talk about. We've been filming a bunch already. So I think one of the most fun things that we did, that's kind of random, but those challenge videos, they crack me up where like people have probably seen them in the past, but we did one of the ones we did in the past was an energy drink challenge where Liz literally got us blindfolds and she got cups and numbered the bottom of them so that she knows what they are. Me and you take a sip and guess what it is, and whoever gets the most points wins. But then we do that in a series of like 7 videos. So it's, you may win the energy drink when I may win the chocolate candy bar one, which I didn't. And so then tallies up to who gets the most points at the end. Those to me, those are so much fun. And we've already shot a whole series that'll be posted sometime in the future. We're going to do one soon. I don't even know if we talked about this. I want y'all to do one and me and Brandon film it. Like we're the cameramen and the lights and like, because and by the way, if the quality of the video goes down, that's why, to be honest. But I think that'd be a ton of fun. We're going to do something like that on the next podcast, like a little miniature version, just because people don't understand how difficult it is. You can take something that you love. For me, blue Sour Patch Kids, my favorite one. I'm picking blue out every time. Blindfold on, green, easy. Next. Give me the green, which is the worst color. Blue, easy. Give me the next. That's my favorite one. Give it to me. Then you watch the footage back, and you're like, how in the world could I have got that wrong? And it's just being blindfolded so wild.
Take your sight away.
So we've been filming those, and that's a ton of fun. There's just so much fun stuff. Like y'all are going to see coming up soon. There's a ton of content for us to film.
Yep. I can't wait for everybody to see the warehouse tour and to see this big building that we've been talking about so much and all the things we put inside of it. And yeah, and then over the next couple months, we're getting into summertime. We got some big things coming. We have new products. We have new flavors.
We got new Did we ever, have we ever properly actually said what the new flavors are going to be? I feel like we've
hinted at it, but I don't know. Like you have said this will be a new flavor, but like you haven't.
So that's the next flavor?
You haven't said it's the next
Liz,
flavor.
How much time are we at on this podcast right now? Right, okay, so the odds of someone still watching this podcast
could be low. Unless they're true fans, it could be low.
If they're true fans, Brandon, I'm about to do them a little favor.
Do it.
I don't know what's going on. This annoys me. The next flavor, don't clip this. This is just for the end of the podcast.
If you stayed with us.
If you stayed with us the whole time, you're going to know that the next flavor launch is blackberry.
And let me tell you, it's so good.
It's so good.
And so it's going to be a minute before it launches. It'll probably, we don't have a date or anything yet, but it will be, we can say it'll be in the month of April, right?
We believe it's going to be the very end of the month of April.
We believe that. But it's later than we thought because we have taste tested that thing so many times. And we got it, and we were like, it's good, but it's not there.
But let's
yet.
crank it up.
And so we got it back again, and we were like, it's still so good.
But let's keep cranking it up.
It could be better. And so we got it back again.
Give us some more blackberries, Betty.
Look, you're going to taste the blackberries.
It's good.
It's good. That's good.
Hey, somebody call Steven and order all the blackberries y'all got. Bring them in here right now. We need to squeeze these blackberries and get it in this pitcher because we need more blackberry juice in our tea.
We almost had to rent a blackberry farm.
Yeah, did. Yeah. They didn't even have enough. So I think, it's fun. Like when we're doing flavors, one of the fun things is like you want it to still taste like tea, but you also want to have this flavor. And so many of them we've nailed perfectly. There's some of them that are a little bit more faint than we wanted to. I'll say watermelon in the beginning, it was way too strong. And then we actually had to dial that one backwards.
Yeah, but now the flavor is still strong within it. But
it's good. It's perfect now.
Yeah.
But like, there's some of them that maybe aren't as strong, and that also could be how they're blended. Like sometimes I would say this: if y'all have ever had a bag of a flavor, and I'll say peach. Peach is an example that's a weird one to use, but sometimes. Honestly, I haven't experienced it as much as I've seen people comment this, but they'll say that my peach was a little weak. Mm-hmm. Well, one thing you can do is steep it a little bit longer and you're going to get more flavor out of it. But also, there's a chance that because they're blending this in a gigantic, picture a KitchenAid mixer.
Yeah.
And you pour all the black tea in there and you pour all the other black tea in there and you pour the flavor in there and then blend it up. There's a chance that some of that tea isn't going to get all of that flavor as much as the little bit batch beside it did. And so that realistically happens. And so please, if you're still watching this, like understand that.
Yeah.
Because it can't always be exactly perfect.
But
although it's very close.
so few. Like it's, if there's 100,000 bags of peach, like I bet there's a dozen people that said like it wasn't strong enough. But
yeah.
So big announcement there at the end of the podcast, blackberry tea coming around the end of April.
And we have 7 new flavors that are still in the sample phase. 2 of them are complete. Blackberry is the first one. Blueberry is the second one. We won't even keep going into that one. But there's some more flavors that are way far away right now. They're like not even close on the flavor part of it. We also have to, there's a lot more work on that. We also have, should we go all the way right here? There's something monstrous coming out at the end of like May, possibly the first couple weeks of June.
Let it hang for a couple
It's
podcasts.
monstrous. By the way, I've already showed all of it.
Yeah.
If you're an OG,
you've seen it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's 3 things. I know that Nikki Brakefield Ratliff is going to comment and know exactly what it is, but that's on the way. And other than that, Brandon, I think we're pretty much wrapped up on this podcast. I do want to say a major thank you to everyone who's watched. Don't forget, we're doing a $200 giveaway. It's going to be a gift card, so you can buy anything on our website. You can save it. It'll expire in a year from whenever we make it. So you got a bunch of time. You can save it for Black Friday if you want to. I wouldn't do that because you're going to miss a bunch of the flavor launches. But $200. All you got to do is like this video, comment anything, and we've given you 50. Probably more than 50 chances to comment something.
All you got to do is talk about a bidet.
Also, you can leave this part. Brandon, in the podcast, one of my favorite things to do, and it's inappropriate, but I don't care. It's just part of my humor. But I know that Liz has to watch this whole thing, and she has to edit it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do when I'm filming is, I trust Liz, by the way. It's a ton of trust. But sometimes I'll throw in something that
that shouldn't be in the podcast.
It shouldn't be in the podcast. It is no. It's usually sometimes it'll be a cuss word or something, but normally it's just like a very wild statement.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm talking about dude wipes, I just carry the conversation a little too far. Yeah. And I know that Liz is going to edit it, but the funny thing is to watch people's faces that are like around.
Because they're like, why would you say that?
Yeah, you're on video right now. Why would you say that? And I know that Liz is going to, I hope that Liz is going to edit it. And anyhow, it cracks me up. So I don't even know why I said that, but.
Man, it's been fun. Good to get back in the chair.
Very good. Back in the saddle's nice. Like, comment, share. Yep. $200 gift card. Anything on the website. Anna's gonna pick. You can comment as many times as you want. By the way, so you can just keep commenting and still keep commenting for your chance to win. The more times you comment, the higher chance that Anna's gonna see your name.
Yep, because Anna's just randomly picking a comment.
Yeah, and then she's just gonna verify that you liked it and verify that you shared it, and then we're done. You win. So that'll be it for episode 1 of season 3 of the Y'allTown podcast. We're proud of it. We're thankful to be back, and we're going to try these every single week for a while. And honestly, I think we're going to stick to it this time. What if there's a chance that me and you're both going to be missing in like May at the same time?
For sure.
There's a chance of that.
For sure.
We'll talk about that on the next podcast, but
maybe we can shoot a few like right
What if we don't? What if them two do the whole thing? We get Carson and JT to run the camera. We get Carson and JT to run the camera, We get Anna and Liz to be the
That
hosts.
stresses me out. I'm stressed right now.
Imagine
thinking about
how
that.
good Carson will be at the camera.
That's like Anna with a tape gun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. We'll see you all on the next one.